Hotep Senu Hena Senut Itiren Ishakanegu Kemet. We have 4 people online. How many thumbs up do we have? 1. Well, we can do better than that, can't we? The title of this video is Guess Who Was Labeled a Silly Amateur by a PhD? Black Egyptian Hotep Sen. Oh, I forgot to check the sound actually. Oh, it's not. Let me check the sound. Connecting this thing. No matter what the title is, you are free to participate and share your input. I have shared the event link as I usually do. Now, yeah, sounds loud and clear. All right, I can get rid of this. All right, so in my feed, a video popped up. Our brother Netaneb. I'm gonna have to put my mic on mute as I play it, so I'll keep this on actually. Okay. Let me share. Well, first I will share the video so you have the link. Oh, Netaneb's video has 100 views already. It was posted 14 hours ago. If you have a channel and you have 100 views less than 24 hours, you're doing good. Now, some people have way more views because, you know, they have teams, you know, they receive some funding from some obscure sources. Chris MVP Harris, how you doing, my brother? From Detroit. What up, though? So I've shared the link to our brother Netaneb's video. And you can see it here. All right. So let's find out who was labeled a silly amateur by a PhD.
So he lost the debate. So it says he had nothing to do with linguistics. He just a silly amateur. Dr. Nazir Sati, man. Wow. University of Khartoum. Now he's known in the University of Khartoum as a pseudo-linguist. I mean, literally. And it's recorded him debating me.
I was muted all this while. So You can see on the screen that Smash Rockwell was present during our brother Netaneb's live stream. And here you can see the name of the PhD that labeled the Riparianite as a silly amateur. He is called Dr. Nasir Sati from the University of Khartoum, Sudan. Now, in English, we just pronounce it Khartoum. It's amazing that sometimes people can be very pseudos, but they still have some groupies. Last time I told you two sayings. It's hard out there for a pimp, and pimping ain't easy. It appears that there's about less than 10 groupies in the camp of the Riparianites. The number one pseudo, and if somebody has ever seen his degree, just let me know. Because I've yet to see any degree whatsoever when it comes to history, and he claimed to be a historian. He has what is known in the jargon of vernacular of pimping, a chick. Really, it's the B word, but I'm trying not to use profanity. I'm not holier than thou. I just try to speak for all age groups, including children. So I'm not trying to teach pimping. I'm just merely stating that there's something known as a bottom chick. So maybe it is thanks to the effort of his bottom chick that the Riparianite has succeeded in having about less than 10 followers or groupies or cheerleaders, because the chief of the Riparianites has most interaction on the YouTube channel of his bottom chick. Now, his bottom chick gives Medu Nature lessons, and he says that the ancient Egyptians were not black, that Cam doesn't mean black, that is a title, and that Cam meaning black is a hypothesis, that no one has demonstrated that. That's one of the many reasons why they are labeled magic Medu Nature teachers. Or people say that they do or they practice what is known as or nicknamed as magic Medu Nature. So for the groupies, the cheerleaders of these guys, that's the end result. All the way in a university in Africa, the Riparianites are known as pseudos and silly amateur. It is really sad. But hey, if you want to go that route, go that route. Now, in America, because some people are a bit elitist and they feel like, well, I don't care. This is Africa. I don't care. See, the female cat Garfield, who claims to have a bachelor's degree in history that he doesn't want to show for whatever reason, I saw in my feed that he did a live and he started with a video talking about slavery. And he was dealing with a particular African tribe or ethnic group. And I was wondering why, but any topic can be addressed. Now, the same guy who won't show his degree, he has claimed publicly that he has a bachelor's degree in history. He's not showing that, but he feels the need to talk about some historical facts. He won't deal with his own history. And surprisingly, in my feed, I've seen that the guy who says that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasians has also addressed, I did not watch the video, but I could tell from the title that he's also addressed slavery amongst Africans. So I'm like, is that a coincidence? Where are they getting with that? But that was just in passing. I digress. Even in America, the riparianites are seeking what they are sowing. And you see, Netanyahu, he complimented me for my delivery. And he stated that he is working on himself because he doesn't have the patience. And I remember back then I had less patience, but I guess having 2 children has helped. Because when I used to hear pseudo stuff, I would get agitated. Like, I really cannot stand false, inaccurate information. And there's low-level falsehood and there's high-level falsehood. And some people are normalizing being pseudo. And now pseudo is like somebody has a premise, a hypothesis, an argument, a claim, a statement. You're going to demonstrate, explain, argue that this is wrong and explain why, and show the work of the specialist and the expert, and the person will still go on in the falsehood. That's when the person is pseudo. Everybody make mistakes. Somebody can have a premise, an argument, then you discuss and you show some evidence. All right, okay. People have integrity. They will recognize, well, I was wrong about that. I was not accurate about that. There's more to it. Fine. But some people know that they are wrong and they still go on in their falsehood willingly. So when I was trying to talk like a grown man, the guy, the chief of the riparianites, he knew very well that I was dealing with what he said this year, but he doesn't want to address that because with all the pseudo stuff that he has said, he has yet to say I was wrong about that. So who else? Let's see who else. So now he has a new title now. He has a new titulary. Let's see who else is criticizing the dude's methodology. I'm going to move forward a little bit. I'm going to mute my mic as well. We have Cyril Gamer, who wrote Hola. I think it's the first time I see that username.
(2019). But if it's proof that y'all lost, that's something. Now, this is Dr. Mario Beatty. To me, this is April 23rd, 10:55 p.m. This was years ago, 2019. Dr. Reggie set this up. Now, Baba Reggie came out and made a statement and said he agreed with me. He even came out and made a public announcement. Baba Reggie said he watched the debate and they were mad and said I was appealing to authority. That's what they made that up at. So it says, Hotep Netanyahu. This is Dr. Mario Beatty responding to Netanyahu. We already did the statements. That don't work on them. They don't even care about statements, bro. All right. How can I make... Now, if I make it bigger, it's going to cut off half of it. So, yeah, statements don't even matter. They don't even care. They don't even care about statements, experts. So it doesn't matter. It's like a Nawapi. They don't care if you say something about Dr. York. They that's what they believe. So it says, thank you for sending me your work. I will take a close look at it. It says most of Assam Hotep's linguistic ideas stem from the work of Warren Claude Mboli. Origin des langues africaines, which I already knew. Mboli makes some of the same mistakes in his treatment like Mark Etienne. So he compared Mboli to Mark Etienne, the Egyptologist that Obenga critiqued. He said, I did not deal with this work technically in my presentation because I wanted to highlight Obenga's voice in translation on the issue from French. This is actually where he is getting his core thesis from for the word timid, although unlike Mboli, Asar evades Coptic. See that? Evades Coptic. You understand? That is his error. We have been telling him that's his error. He doesn't listen to this, and he is reaping what he sowed. Man, the universe is sure. I mean, once they laughed at me, and I said, "Yo, my aunt is going to catch up with you." And he said, "Yeah, I'm pseudo for saying that. I'm just saying that what goes around comes around. When you do this type of snake stuff to people in public, and you become you don't have academic integrity. You're doing academic dishonesty in your approach, it comes back. It's just how life is. If you're on the street living by the sword, you die by the sword. This is old sayings that are true.
Dr. Mario Beatty also criticized the bad methodology. Nedaneb, at one point, I was driving laughing. He said, yes, Dr. Nedaneb, Brother Nedaneb said that when he hears pseudo information, he feels like they are killing the people. And I was laughing, like, some people don't take it seriously. They feel like, it's okay to be pseudo. It's all right. That's the way we get down. There's no reason why we could not be accurate. Those guys are messing it up for everybody. And one interesting thing mentioned is that here is reported, we have the message from Dr. Mario Beatty that says that the chief of the riparian Knights is evading Coptic. There's so many pseudo stuff coming from their camp. And I remember at one point where those guys were claiming that Niger Congo or Bantu languages are closer to the Medu than the Coptic. Those guys want to defend their pamphlet with 4 reviews on Amazon so bad that they are trying to place an amateur in linguistics above several PhDs in linguistics. And they would even attempt to place some Bantu / Niger Congo languages closer to the Medu than the Coptic. And the Coptic, I mean, if you know any Egyptologist that says that the Coptic is not the final stage or final phase of the Medu, let me know. Besides Egyptologists, if there are some linguists, and I'm talking any side that we have to say real linguists, in this community of people who are self-proclaimed linguists with not a toilet paper in linguistics, they also claim to be historians without any degree that we know of. It's just sad. But if you know about somebody that is a professional linguist, or let's say a PhD in linguistics, that states that the Coptic is not the final stage of the Medu, then let me know. And by Medu, I mean hieroglyphic. Black Egyptian wrote Neb went in yesterday. Now, brothers and sisters, I have about like 15 minutes to go. So if you want to say what's up, feel free, because my main purpose is just to inform the people that those Riparianites are known internationally as pseudos and city amateur. If you want to be part of that crew, well, just be aware of that. There's no reason why we cannot be accurate. So my university card should be shipped soon. I will be happy to show it because it's serious. And I hope that I can encourage some young males and young females to enter a field of their interest. We need more people dealing with the field, academic fields. We need to have clarity for our people. Not everybody will do it, but we need more. And we can all learn together. The academic field is not the only way to learn, to study. So I've been doing it independently for years. But I have decided, and I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I would change my mind, seeing the lack of support, waiting things. But now, I have decided, okay, I'm going to get there, So if that can encourage some young brothers and sisters, then that will be lovely, that will be lovely. I don't understand why it's as if pseudo is the new black. It's as if it's cool to be pseudo. The most pseudo people that I've heard before were people dealing with metaphysics. But now we have people who claim to be historians and linguists, and they are making the most pseudo statements ever heard in the history of humankind. So before I close out, I will just give you a preview of some of the pseudo claims of the Riparianites. If you don't know what the Riparianite is this crew, this team of people who claim that the I6 glyph, the Gardner reference I6 glyph, that is transliterated with the letter K and the letter M, hence we pronounce it Kem, hence why we pronounce it Kem, that it doesn't stand for the color black. Whenever used, even if it's translated as black, they will be slick and say, yeah, it's black, it means black. But to them, it doesn't have anything to do with the color. They will tell you it's a title. They will tell you it's a titulary. Only because they have a claim that the name, the place name Kemet, means riparian zone or riparian country or riparian land. But the main thing for them is riparian. And if out of curiosity, you go through doctors of Egyptology and see how they translate Kemet, you will see that you have the root black, which is Kem. And they don't say riparian land, riparian country, riparian zone. They say black land, black country, and so on. Now, other people are of the opinion that it means land of the blacks, and so on. But we still have, regardless, the meaning of black, and black being the color, not a titulary. All right. So they have been making pseudo claims, and it's just really, really sad that at the international level, those guys are known as clowns, even to the point of being labeled as silly amateur. I said that the guy, the chief of the Riparianites, he has a skill of imitating. He's watching and listening carefully, and he's imitating professionals in different fields. If he has that talent for imitating, it means that, let's presume he enters a field and he studies the lessons, the teachings of the field. When the exam comes, then he can just repeat and emulate what he was taught. So just by following the grammar rules, just by following the science of the different fields, he could go far. But he has decided to deal with just pseudo stuff because it's easier. It takes less effort. So besides plagiarizing, which is stealing other people's work, and that still hasn't been addressed, we hear some of the weirdest claim ever. And like I said before, I suspect that when he used to get spanked in the booty, probably that might have caused some damage, some internal damage, some psychological damage, and that's why the dude is all over the place. But here's a little rundown in closing.
Ridiculous Asar Imhotep. First of all, let's get to know Asar Imhotep. Listen for yourself.
Did you go through any kind of hazing process, bro?
No, I pledged. Yes.
Okay, so you went through a hazing process.
No, I pledged. There's a difference.
Okay, so as you went through the hazing process, did they slap you on the ass with a paddle?
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay. So you bent over, you grabbed your ankles, and that paddle was smacking that ass.
Basically.
Okay.
Allah, and this is where I would disagree with Brother Shaka, is actually in the Egyptian text. The god Allah is an indigenous African god. Hebrews, come from and who they are specifically, because based upon my research, these are African people. And this is how we know that the Hebrews, first of all, you got to understand that Hebrew is an African language. Then when you do a linguistic analysis, you understand that the Hebrew language is cognate with the Yoruba language.
Fly in English is the same word, except we don't have the prefix sound in there, in the word fly. And so the word, the phoneme R is now L in English, and the P sound is F, in English. It's just simply the word. It's a very old word. It's all the Indo-European is in every African language.
Not only that, but he hasn't done a reconstruction for Middle Egyptian.
I understand.
And I'm saying that is an incorrect and it is not a very good order of operations. So you're going to.
I don't see a reconstruction of Yoruba in your work or a Khan.
How would I reconstruct Yoruba and it's spoken right now? How does that make any sense to you?
Alrighty, as mentioned before, I go by the name of Asar Imhotep. Some others may know me by Ifa Muyiwa Fagbimi in terms of my Yoruba name. I am a historian and anthropological linguist, an artist, poet, photographer, music producer, soon to be filmmaker, and a host of other things I like to dabble in seriously.
As you said, I am Asar Imhotep. I am first and foremost, I'm a computer software programmer and linguist and historian of ancient Egyptian and Bantu studies. And I'm happy to be here on your show.
And we didn't even really, matter of fact, I didn't even really make any arguments in the text about Kemet other than laying down our ultimate meaning for it. I didn't make the argument for the word Kemet and showing how I came to the conclusion.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay. So those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video Kemet and Ma'at before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class, and all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Neture class. Hotep.